Hi guys, welcome to some quick notes in terms of aiming for grade 9 in My Last Duchess. If you need a longer video with everything including structure, then please check my YouTube channel out, it's got all of the details on. First things first, then we must look at the noun Neptune, obviously in the taming of the seahorse. In Latin, the word Neptune comes from Neptunus, and then that comes from nuptius, which actually means covering. And that's interesting because don't forget, in this poem, he closes the curtains on her, doesn't he? In brackets it says none draws the curtain for you but I, and again the idea of covering her up shows how much control he has over the possession of her as a painting. So I think that's massive in terms of where the words come from. Also, if you wanted to go further, it can be linked to nuptiae, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, which is the marriage of heaven and earth. And obviously Neptune was the brother of Jupiter and Pluto, and they reside over heaven and the underworld. So again, we've got something more ominous at play there in terms of what Neptune's powering over, if you like. Neptune was worshipped by the Romans as the god of horses again, so think about the fact that he would control them, much like we're sitting on the seahorse. They believed in sacrifice, so the Romans would sacrifice things to Neptune as a god. So again, does she then become the sacrifice? There's quite a lot in terms of Neptune. And then if you want to go to the argument of that, and the flip side of that, which is the seahorse, then the seahorse is sacred to Neptune because it essentially belongs to him. So that image at the end of the poem is vital. Just some things we might want to point out. I'm not going to do them all, I'm just going to pick a few. We need to analyse single words if we're aiming for a grade 9. So we're going to move on to my. So my. Possessive pronoun, meaning to belong to. Therefore, the poem fits the expected roles of patriarchal society, that she belongs to him. So it's in the title, My Last Duchess, and it foreshadows the very notion of a dominant duke who controls his wife. Commands is a massive noun for us, so it's got many meanings. Number one is to direct with specific authority or prerogative, to order someone. So that straight away, we know that I gave commands, he orders someone to kill her. Look at your Shazera there as well, because it's isolated, so that again could arguably be a vaulter, although I tell my students that all smile stops is the main vaulter. To require authoritatively and to demand, to have or exercise authority or control over. So listen, you're getting quite a few things with commands, but this is the one that's interesting. Dispose, to have at one's disposal. Well, he disposes of her, doesn't he? So that additional meaning for commands takes on a new role, that he kills her. To deserve and receive respect. So again, he thinks that he deserves respect as the Duke. And then to have authority over and responsibility for. So you've got a lot of stuff here about authority, demanding, controlling, thinks he needs respect, but remember that it also means to dispose of, which is interesting. Adverb easily. In an easy manner with ease. So the fact that he does things easily, especially something like murder, should trouble us, shouldn't it? Because he's telling us what he's done, and he's telling the person not going to the pain what he's done. Beyond question, his power is limitless, that he can do it very easily, kill. I'm going to taming now. This is the last thing I'm going to say. This is a very short video, but taming is massive. It's an example of zoomorphism because we're applying an animalistic characteristic to the fact that he's tamed her. Changed from a wild or savage state, without the savageness or fear of humans normal in wild animals. Docile or submissive. So look at your meanings. So he thought she was wild, well we get that in She Thanked Men. And he has made her submissive. Again, it fits the patriarchal society, and the role of women is that they would be submissive. And look at that idea of docile. Brought in to serve, rendered useful and manageable, under control. So again, he's dominant and he's giving command, and she is docile, submissive and controlled. Very, very quick in terms of looking at a grade 9. There's other videos on it. There's 2 other videos on my channel on My Last Duchess. There's a whole playlist on how to compare the poems. A massive good look in your English literature exam.